Hi, I'm Tessa. I've been thinking a lot lately about employers and employees, about educators and students, and how so many of us are under such significant stress that it's really hard for us to figure out how to get along and or be the people that we really wish that we could be when things get tough. So I wanted to take a minute and just share an interesting situation that happened to me recently and the insights that I gleaned from that experience, and to just share it with you to see if hopefully it could be supportive to you as well. So, a few weeks ago, I needed to take my dog Jade to the vet for a procedure, and I knew that he would need to be sedated, and then I would need to come pick him up several hours later and be able to take him home. And the vet had shared that he would likely be a little bit uncomfortable because of the procedures. And so, as I picked him up and I got him into my car and I helped him get his big old golden retriever body into my car, he whined a little bit and he winced, and I just thought, oh, poor thing. It must be really uncomfortable. And felt sad for him, and just knew that we just had about a 20-minute drive to get home. So, as we're driving on the interstate, the longer we're driving, the more he begins to get antsy in his seat. And he's trying to move around and he's trying to get into the back seat. He's trying to crawl into my lap as I'm driving. And he just continues to just be really restless and continue to whine and whimper and clearly be very uncomfortable. The whole time I'm petting him and I'm saying, oh, bless your heart, honey, we're almost home. As soon as we get home, you'll be so much more comfortable. It's okay. Then the longer it took us to get home, the more uncomfortable he became, the more distressed he became, the more he was trying to get out the window on the passenger side, the more he's trying to crawl into my lap, the more he's trying to get into the back seat. And the whole time, I just feel so sad and I'm getting more worried. And I'm thinking, man, as soon as I get home, I've got to call the vet and find out what's wrong. And is this normal? They didn't give me any painkillers for him. What do I need to do for him? And bless his heart, he can't talk, right? He can't tell me what's going on. We keep driving. He continues to become more and more escalated as far as trying to just move and whine and let me know how uncomfortable he is. So much to the point that he tries to start going through my front windshield and crawling up on my front dashboard. At which time I'm thinking, okay, this is not okay. There is something wrong. And something caused me to look over and look down. And when I looked down, I found a seat full of urine. He had peed all over my seat. So I don't know how that would make you feel, but I had lots of mixed emotions, including working really hard at not being mad, and then quickly figuring out how am I going to pull my car over, because then it looks like he's starting to circle in my seat. And I thought, I am not letting you poop in my car. So I quickly find a way to safely pull over. I get out of my car. I get him out of my car. And of course, he's too distracted to finish doing his business. So now I'm on the side of the road with my dog, trying to figure out what am I going to do, because now he doesn't want to get back in the car because dogs don't like to sit in their own urine. So needless to say, it was quite the adventure. As I got back in the car, as I got him back in my car, and then I got back in the car myself and I began to drive, I started thinking about, I noticed first how frustrated I was that I had a puddle of urine in my seat. And I really wanted to be mad. And then I immediately noticed that this sweet dog had done everything in his power to tell me how uncomfortable he was. He did everything he knew to do to say, I'm in distress. I'm having a hard time. I need you to help me do this differently because I don't know what else to do. It was powerful as I related it to the work that a lot of us do together, whether we are working with students, trying to get along with a coworker, whether we are a supervisor or a leader and we are trying to lead those around us, or we are a supervisor and we are trying to support our employees who are having a hard time, I thought, how often do our employees or our students or those around us non-verbally try to tell us, I'm having a hard time? It would be helpful if you could notice that and do something a little bit different than what you're doing. So, as I think about that situation with my dog Jade, I have two big takeaways that really stood out for me as I think about that. The first one I think about really is about how nonverbals impact relationships, and how, as we are interacting with others, that a lot of times we ourselves are either giving nonverbal cues or someone is giving us nonverbal cues. And how do we just slow things down a little bit more to notice and consider what nonverbals people are sending us? And it doesn't mean that we aren't holding people accountable. It doesn't mean that we're not having those tough conversations. But sometimes we get so busy in all of the tasks that we have to accomplish that it's hard for us to pause and really take in someone might be struggling, or maybe I'm struggling. And what do I need to do to take better care of myself? The second big thing I really want to highlight is really this idea of how we respond makes a big difference to us being able to maintain and build relationships. And as I think about that, it's really about how do we make sure that even when we are in situations where we need to maintain accountability or establish expectations or supporting someone and accepting their own personal responsibility, that it's how we do that that absolutely determines whether we are able to continue to build the bridge of relationship or whether that bridge will accidentally be set on fire, and really have tremendous accidental negative consequences. And really, it's about those two ideas that really are grounded in relationship. And I really believe that no matter what role we play, especially now more than ever, it is so important that we pause and we slow down and we think about the human beings that are on the other side of us, and how do we pause and give ourselves some grace and compassion as well. I'm Tessa Brock, and I am passionate about creating cultures of connection, investment, and personal responsibility, whether it's in the workplace or the school setting. But I believe that intentionally we can build places where everyone believes and feels as if they belong, and that we can build places where everyone is treated with dignity and respect that they deserve. I would love to have the opportunity to work more with you if this sounds like something you would be interested in cultivating in your work or school environment. Thank you.